Virtua Fighter 5 on the PlayStation 3. This is actually a game that I purchased maybe 7 or 8 years ago. Barely touched it. I played Virtua Fighter 4 on this channel before I played Virtua Fighter 5. I did play Virtua Fighter 5's, I think it was what, the Final Throwdown or Final Showdown on the Yakuza. It's one of the Yakuza games, or it might be on Judgment, or it might be on both. Virtua Fighter 2 is included as part of Yakuza Kiwami, and that's actually a very good game. That one still holds up. Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown, however, is a complete waste of time. It's a game where you basically button mash, and half an hour later you win. I don't understand what they thought they were doing with that. Like, I guess the arcade game feels like a trainer, and even then, it's made for two-player combat, I guess, because there's, like, no AI in that game at all. I lost maybe one round out of 20. I have multiple videos on this channel where I blasted through that game just mashing buttons. But we won't be able to do that here. This game actually has competent AI. I guess what they did is they took some player, maybe they captured some player data from all the arcade kiosks and decided to use it to program the AI for this PlayStation 3 port. This game also came out on the Xbox 360, or I want to say the Final Showdown disc was released on the Xbox 360. I used to own it, I probably sold it a while ago. This game is stupid cheap. And it seems legit. Like, I don't know if it's better than Virtua Fighter 4, but as far as the AI goes, it's very good so far. So you can't just button mash your way through this game the way you could the arcade version of Final Showdown. So that's a massive help. So this feels like an actual video game. We'll do a couple of videos. We're going to start with some of the command training so I can establish the basics. Then we'll actually get into some real fights. And we'll kind of sample the game as we go. I'm not going to do a long video here. This will be sort of a trainer. And this game does a pretty good job of showing you all the moves, but it doesn't do a very good job of demonstrating all of them. So some of these moves are extremely frame specific. Like, they're extremely demanding to pull off, requiring very, very weird and very exact timings, which are really annoying to me. These are your basic button mashing combos. As usual, you could your regular punches hit high. There are occasional moves that hit mid, and some will hit low. So, like in Tekken, you might want to pay attention to whether you're hitting high, medium, or low. Your regular punches hit high. The knee might hit mid. But if it's a combo, why does it matter if you're hitting mid? I'm more concerned about having a... Is that mid? That's high. So your punches are high entry combos. Your kicks can be mid entry combos. And crouching attacks can be low entry. Even though it looks like it's hitting mid, it's actually hitting low. Like, that punch is hitting low. Like, this punch is hitting low. This kick is hitting low. But this kick is hitting mid. Explain that. Like, how is this, like, for instance, how is this mid and how is this low? It looks like the exact same torso location. So, I mean, geeky stuff. Oh, by the way, that's a flamingo stance. We'll get into that later. Because eventually you're going to want to learn how to get out of it. Just so you know, if you're in a flamingo stance like that, just press the punch button and you're out of it. You can't dash, really. You can step forward, but you can't really dash out of it. So you can just punch to get out of it. Oh, I forgot to show you the... command list right here. It shows you all the moves. You can rewind to any earlier move and press the X button to go back to it. You can press the select button to reset, which is important later because you're going to do some moves that are about attacking people from the rear with your back turned, things like that. What else? Display settings. We want command input and input display. So you're able to see on the left side of the screen the buttons that I'm pressing and the number of frames. I think is that the number of it's the number of frames between each button press. Stuff like that. So you can see how many frames there are between each move. This is important for demonstrations because you want to see how many frames it takes to pull off subsequent moves and combos. We'll get to that later. And you can see on the bottom of the screen the joystick is here. Can't use the left or the right stick. So you have to play this with the D-pad, which is fine. There are some 360-degree moves here. I kind of wish that would be better explained. You can double tap down to slide to do a sidestep. Hold up to rotate. I think you can also... There are ways to jump. We'll worry about that later. So double tap down and hold down on the second down tap to rotate. Hold up to sidestep up in the background. What are the moves that I have set up here for the controller setup? There are 2 punch buttons. We're not going to use triangle. PG is L1. PKG is L2. That's probably not great. Might want to change that. Okay, so what should PK be? R1. Yes, might want to switch these up. Okay, so maybe a KG should be R1. Yeah, KG should be R1. So punch guard is L1. Kick guard is R1. PK can be R2. So both attack buttons are R2. All 3 buttons are R3. That's a guard, so I guess that makes sense. Okay. So all 3 buttons are L2. Both attack buttons are R2. So we'll mess with that later. Okay. 3 punches and a back kick. 3 punches and an up kick. And we're in the flamingo again. You gotta punch to get out of it. Again, when you're in the flamingo stance like that, you gotta punch to get out of it. There are other ways to get out of it. That's the easiest way to get out of it, because you're stuck. You can also do feints with your leg, like Ken Lo and Drunken Fists too, but we're not gonna talk about that till later. We'll go to the flamingo stance moves. We'll go to the flamingo stance combo tree later. Okay. 2 punches, back punch, kick. Again, it's very hard to pull that off, but once you do, it becomes a muscle memory. Very low input latency. So it's as responsive as you would want a Virtua Fighter game to be here on the PlayStation 3. And I'm playing on a flat screen. Good enough. I'm playing on a decent Vizio 4K flat screen. I can hook it up to a CRT if I want. It's not going to make a big difference the way I'm playing right now. I can have a composite video cable. I can plug it into my CRT back there if I want to. We'll worry about that later. Okay, that was a flamingo starter. So again, if my leg is lifted like that, that's a flamingo starter. So we'll get out of it. Can I, like, crouch out of it? No, I can't crouch out of it. Can I guard out of it? So I can guard out of it, okay. So yeah, the guard will get me out of that. If you don't want to kick, if you don't want to punch out of it, you can guard out of it. Just press the guard button and you'll drop your leg. Okay. This one's kind of annoying. You have to press the K button just before you make contact on that last hit. So you're double tapping down in K, I think. Nope. Check out the on the left on my back. Check out the input. See if I do it right. There it is. Didn't feel like I did it right. That was supposed to be a kick, right? Yeah, that. Okay, so that's a normal down kick. But if you double tap it, you lift your leg and do the axe kick. Okay, what do we got? Yeah, towards punch hits mid. That's good. So regular punch hits high, towards punch hits mid, down punch hits low. So you have a few entries. Nice. I love those knees. There we go. Okay, so I'm in my remember I'm in my flamingo kick, my flamingo stance. Guard out of it. Punch back. Oh, that was a step, wasn't it? That's an annoying move. There's a move called a step where you kind of shuffle your stance to kind of fake people out. Again, that's high level. I don't play like that. Against real human beings, it's kind of interesting because people are going to be looking at your legs and looking at your stance. But against an AI, probably won't matter too much. Maybe an AI might try to... You could probably try to fake out the AI by throwing that in there. Yeah, the kick step. Let's see. Yeah, so L2 is for all 3 buttons. So, toward punch, away kick. So, toward punch, back kick, step. So you see that little jig that I do right there. Again, I think it's like a fake out. But if you're like a performative fighter, it's a nice little thing to throw in there when you're really owning somebody, when you're really poning somebody. That's kind of a nice touch. It's a nice little flourish I like, but I don't know if it matters unless you're playing a human being. If you're playing against AI, it probably doesn't matter. Let's see. Because remember, the AI does do button reading. At least in older Virtua Fighter games it did. That's a double kick. This one's annoying. You have to do a back punch. That's a spinning punch. Followed by a double kick as soon as the kick lands. So it's a double kick normally. That follow-up is a double kick. Yes, I can't pull it off. But there's a yellow question mark there, which means you can press select to see a demonstration of it. Right here. Press select to play the demo. Again, at the bottom of the screen, you can press select to play the demo, but it's not for all the moves. Only for these moves specifically, which is odd. Because in, it's like, what, Soul Calibur, you can see demonstrations of every move, last I checked. As I recall. Do I have Soul Calibur 4? I think I have Soul Calibur 4 on the PlayStation, no, on the Xbox 360 in the other room. I'll do that. I'll play that game later. My backlog is sick. Oh, yeah, I gotta demonstrate. Give me a second. I gotta demonstrate that move. Give me a moment. So you can see the command input on the bottom of the screen with the joystick. And you can see the frame timing you need to pull this off. You only need 3 button presses, but it's very specific. What is that? 6, 12, 27? Seriously? That is very specific. And I don't know, is that yellow number damage? Huh. Hold on. When do I press it? Okay, as soon as I make contact. No. 6, 12, 7? Well, let's try it. No. But again, if I get stuck doing this move, I can just go down here and choose a different move. So that's really frustrating that I can't pull off some of these moves. But unlike some games that I've played in the past, if you don't get stuck in a tutorial if you can't pull off a specific move. So I'll try it a couple more times. But I'll never do this in a real game, so it's like it almost sort of feels like a physical challenge. Like those little tutorials you'll do in Street Fighter 4 or Street Fighter 5. They're individual challenges, but you're never going to try and pull them off in a real game. There it is. So you're not mashing on that button. Yeah, you're not mashing on that button. It's supposed to be 6, 3, 27, right? Let me go back to that. I want to try something. Give me a moment. I also want to see it demonstrated again. 6, 12, 27. Okay. There. Okay. So, punch 1227. Nope, too soon. Very specific. That was it, right? Yeah, that was it. Okay, so again, I'm never gonna do that in a real game. Back punch. What's KG? Yeah, R1. R1. That seems okay. It's a knockdown. There we go. Serpent Claw. Back punch, kick, back kick. There we go. So it's a finisher. Bare knuckle turn. So that immediately turns my back to an enemy. So again, I guess the only reason to do that is to change your stance. So it's like Akira and Vanessa. They have stance change moves. I forget if does Jackie have a stance change move? I want to say they added this in Virtua Fighter 4 where she could do stance changes. So it elevates her skill ceiling. Though she does work as a button mashy fighter, so she's okay in that sense. I don't know if this game's balanced, but yeah, I love that little feint, but we're gonna guard out of it. I love doing that. We'll get to that later. Okay, these are gonna be this is part of the step combo tree here. So the game's gonna explain here how we can lead into our step combo tree because there are moves we can pull off while we do that little stutter step I did earlier. For instance, that stutter step. I don't know the quick way to get into the stutter step. We'll do that later. I guess the game will explain the step. The game will explain the step combo tree later. Like how you can follow up a kick with a punch. 2 kicks hit in mid. Yeah, practice that knee. Practice that knee, and this dash knee is massively helpful. Probably one of the most useful moves in the entire franchise. Like if you could do that double tap forward knee, that will get you a lot of wins early on against easier opponents. Because you're able to it's a command lunge. You can it's like a body projectile attack. It really closes the distance quickly. And AI doesn't tend to pick it up right away unless you're playing on harder difficulty levels. So the sooner you can master the timing on that, the better you'll get it for using Sarah. And like you throw it in there against harder opponents, you can kind of embarrass them. But if you whiff on it, there's a recovery, obviously. So keep that in mind. How hard does that hit? Doesn't show me how hard. There's no damage. There's no damage level. That's weird. Oh well. Oh. So back kick puts me in the flamenco stance. Okay. So I'm gonna have to again. I gotta make a freaking flowchart for this game. We'll do it later. Not now, obviously. Sharp sword, so it turns my. It's a high sweeping kick that turns my back to the enemy, which I'm not a fan of. That's a 2-hitter. But it hits high, so that seems kind of leaves me kind of vulnerable, I think. Oh, cancels. Yeah, again, high level crap. Double tap. Double tap. And you can guard to cancel out the second hit. Again, it's to throw off high level players who do that kind of crap. Against AI, it probably doesn't matter. Quick knee? That's not a quick knee. Is it back toward? That's a very quick knee. I don't like that knee. I prefer the forward knee. Yeah, why would I do a back toward knee? Well, actually what it does is it puts me back. I don't lean forward when I do that. I guess I do lean forward a little bit. You see many pixels? Yeah, I'm moving closer to the enemy when I do that. But if I just do forward knee, that puts me way closer. So I guess it's just a way to kind of mix up your entry strategy, I suppose. Because you're moving closer to the enemy when you do this lunge. But a back forward knee gets you a little closer, but not too close. So you're less exposed, I suppose. Jackknife. That hits mid. So you might want to practice that if you need a mid-entry combo. That's your mid-entry combo right there. So that's your high-entry combo. That's your mid-entry combo. Down kick. Down double kick. That's your mid-entry combo. Gotta practice the low entry combo, too. Wait, what did I just do? Go back. The low kick. Down back kick. So when you're crouching, back kick. Crouching, back kick. Crouching, back double kick. Okay. Middle kick. That hits mid. Obviously. Mirage kick. Yeah, that's old school. That's old school Sarah. Down forward triple kick. Get out of that. Yeah, down forward triple kick ends with the flamingo in this game. Guard out of it. Double forward kick. That's kind of annoying, but it's a launcher. Yeah, it's kind of annoying to pull off, but it's an interesting launcher. We'll reset. Yeah, it's kind of hard to pull that off reliably, but it's an instant knockdown launcher. Actually, I thought it would be more of a launcher. Let me try that. Can I juggle? We can juggle him against the wall, but whatever. Yeah, you can't juggle that. So you can't juggle that? Yeah, I can't juggle that. That's weird. Not really, but I could probably throw in an extra kick. If I know what I'm doing, I can throw in an extra kick. Let's try that. Yeah, let's try. Let me try that. Okay, so I can do it twice. I can kick them again while they're falling. There's a more reliable way to do this. Where's my illusion kick? That? Yeah, that's not reliable. So you can probably follow it up with a boot kick while they're on the ground, but not much else. So the Feather Scarecrow puts me in the flamenco stance. It's a leaping mid attack. So I guess it counters enemies who kind of try to do sweeps on you. I rarely use that kick, though. Cancel out of that. Yeah, practice that move. It's a front forward flip. And if you press, what is it? R1. If you press all three after that, you'll moonsault over them. So it's a great way to get out of a corner. So I'm going to press R2 after that move to get out of the corner. And do that somersault kick. It's a very reliable, it's an old school vintage Vanessa attack. Deflect with punch kick. Oh, did I somehow pull that off? I accidentally pulled that off by spamming the button. Deflect. Come on, bud. There. So it's a deflect? Oh, yeah, that move, that R2 move, puts me in the flamenco stance. Guard out of it. So that's a forward move. That's weird. So toward R1 is that, but regular R1 is that? That's bizarre. That's back R1. Does that hit mid? It hits mid. A scissor kick. It hits mid. Let me try something. Yeah, can't do that. Just a second. Yeah, so I can do that as a follow-up. Double tap, double crouch forward. Double crouch forward into a back R1. Yeah, hits him 3 times. So that might be a way to get a couple of extra cheap hits when the person's falling. Remember the double tap, the double crouch forward does that little launcher. Then you can do that back kick guard or that back double attack for the extra juggle. Not gonna do that here though. A forward punch, kick punch. That's pretty basic. So it's a lean in. Why would you do that when you can just do this? They both hit high. I guess it's to vary your timing, I guess. You're varying your button inputs. That was cool. Forward punch, kick, guard. It's a guard. I hate guard canceling in this game. Yeah, stuff like that. It's like, again, you're freaking out a human being, but it doesn't really work against AI, I would argue. Body blow. Yeah. Forward R1, crouch forward punch. Probably not going to do that regularly, but it's nice to have a mix up, I guess. But you're mixing up your highs and your meaty, your highs and your mids. I don't know if that makes a difference. No. There we go. No, I have to do a cancel. God, I hate these. Just a second. See, here's your cancel. Guard out of it. Again, it's kind of cute to kind of fake out people. It's cute. Yeah, that double rise kick is a nice follow-up on a juggle. Okay. So, down R1 for a mid kick. How is that better than this? Like, that's down R1. That's down kick. I don't know what the difference is between those. That's good. Yeah, that's a nice follow-up. Down R1 kick. Nice launcher. I should be able to follow that up. Give me a second. That might work. So on the fall down, do back R1. No. No, not that. Go back. I want to see that move again. Down R1, kick, back R1. No. That was the right move. No. That's it. Okay, so I have to practice that. So I can just double tap down R1. Yeah, double tap down R1. Yeah, I can't pull that off. Okay, I want to see if I can hit them while they're falling. I want to do that little double scissor kick while they're falling. No, it doesn't work. That one. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, that probably counts. It probably counts. Yeah, that counts. You might be able to finish it up. That's a guard kick. So go back to what I was just doing. Go back a bit. Spinning scarecrow. Yeah. Okay, so R2, so R1, L2. Yeah. So that's that step. So you can then do the step combo tree if you throw that in as a follow-up. So again, that little stutter step is part of a separate combo tree, which we'll get to in a few minutes. Crush tornado while rising from a crouch. I can hold it down and then charge it. Just a second. Just a second. Okay, so press R1 when you're getting up from a crouch. Which is a nice wrinkle to throw in there. It's a bit of a wind-up if you hit it. It's kind of satisfying. But again, you have to do it during your rising animation. It's nice to pull off, though. I gotta practice that, probably. Heel slash. That heel slash. It hits mid? How does that hit mid? Look at that. Does that look like a mid hit to you? Whatever. There we go. Nice. Double tap. So why do that? Well, I guess it leaves me less open. If I do this instead of a knee, it leaves me less open. But it's an aggressive move. That's cool. Gotta cancel out of this one. So I gotta cancel out of that before the leg connects. Like that. Cute. Crescent heel seems good. You can cancel it with the guard button, though. So, again, but it hits mid. It doesn't look like it hits mid. So I don't know what the difference is here exactly. I mean, if it hits mid, it means you can't block it? I thought you could... I thought high... Yeah, I think you can crouch under those. You can crouch under high kicks, not mid kicks, I don't think. Leg slicer. Hold down toward KG. This is harder to pull off consistently. But it's nice to have in your back pocket. Yeah, the rising knee double. That's old school Virtua Fighter. There you go. That's how you do that. Crouch. Delay it for a longer hit, I guess. Why would you ever do that? There you go. That's, again, why would you do that? Like, you can't block in mid-air. There's no air blocking in this game. Why would you need to do that? Okay. Valkyrie low. Yeah. Sarah's a Valkyrie. It's... I get it. It's a Japanese thing. First of all, I thought she was American, but they're just calling her a Valkyrie. Okay, this is the step combo tree, right? Alright, just a second. Wrong button. Okay, so down KG. That's the step. So our L2 is the step. There it is. Valkyrie flight. That's a mid, by the way. But it doesn't seem to lead. Does lead in any combos? Oh, there you go. With the 2 punches after it. So there are a couple of variations. Okay, so this hits mid, so you can follow up with a couple of punches. So that's another mid-entry combo you can try to pull off, I guess. And you jump forward, too, so it might be cool. Yeah, that's a nice little mid-entry combo. You can try to pull off pretty consistently. Okay. No. Nice. Cancel the sword rush. I don't even know what I did. But it's a nice wrinkle. Moonsault. While running, yeah, again you have to be running towards them. Again, not consistently able to pull that off. Again, I don't know what defensive moves are. What do they mean? Like when I'm doing this? Like when I'm doing this? Like that? Because I can't... I just want to cancel that. I don't... Cancel that. So I'm trying to pull this off during my sidestep, but it's not working. So I'm going to cancel that. Don't care about that. Okay, so we're done with the normal after all that. So now we have to go to the Flamingo. We'll go to the Flamingo combo tree later. So I'll splice this in with the rest of my footage. So we'll get to this later. This is a whole separate combo tree we gotta do. Oh yeah, gotta get into a Flamingo. So now that we're in the Flamingo. So R1's an easy way to get into Flamingo. You can also just press the select button and go back into the Flamingo pose. So we'll get to that in a second. This is video number 1 of the command training in Virtua Fighter 5.